Acting U.S. Attorney Alina Habba reacting to the arrest of a man accused of attacking her office. Federal authorities say Keith Michael Lisa tried to enter that building with a bat. And then after being turned away, the FBI says he returned without the bat and then destroyed some property in Habba's office. Attorney General Pam Bondi posting about this on Truth Social, saying, or make this on X, she said this, quote, "No one will get away with threatening or intimidating our great U.S. attorneys or the destruction of their offices." Joining me now to talk about it is the great Ted Williams, Fox News contributor, attorney, and former D.C. homicide detective. I like the fact that you and I can be candid.
Yes.
What the hell was this guy thinking?
You know, Kevin, that is certainly something that we all think about. What would someone bringing a baseball bat to a federal building and going into a U.S. Attorney's office with that baseball bat, and you wonder what is and what was their intent. Now, from what we've been told, he took the bat and he left out, and then he came back to the office. Now, for the most part here, it appears he's going to be charged with destruction of property, and that carries a penalty of 10 years or more, and he could be charged at least $250,000 according to what damage he did. But this case is going to be driven by video, I believe. And the reason I say that is, just recently, you remember we had a person in D.C. who threw a ham sandwich at a law enforcement officer, an ICE officer, and that person was found not guilty. So you're going to have the evidence in this case.
Here's what bothers me about this. People are playing around too much. This is very serious stuff. We're talking about individuals who are trying to go to work, trying to serve the public. And you walk over there, whether it's with a bat or with a ham sandwich, we need to make sure that the courts treat this as seriously as I think they ought. Do you think that'll be the case in this circumstance?
Well, you hope so.
Yeah.
But if you look at if in Washington, D.C. is an indicator, it may very well not be treated as serious. But these are serious events and serious situations that could jeopardize the life of a government employee.
Yeah, this is how people get killed, Ted. You know, it starts out with something like this, and some people may disagree and say, oh, it's benign. Maybe not. We don't know what the intent was in this circumstance, and we don't know what the escalation could possibly be moving down the line. Meantime, I want to ask you about Turning Point USA members completely harassed over the Berkeley campus. I love that you're exasperated, because I think a lot of people are, and I'm simply wondering, at what point does the law defend everybody?
The law has to always defend everybody. I don't know all of the circumstances other than Turning Point USA was holding a rally at UC Berkeley.
Yeah.
And you had demonstrators who interrupted and created problems there for them. So under that scenario and circumstance, I can see where the Turning Point USA people have a right to be concerned.
Yeah.
And I understand the concern goes as far as to Washington, D.C., where the Justice Department is concerned, and they are going to be intervening there at UC Berkeley.
Could they sue Berkeley for not exercising proper care and security?
They could. I don't know how far that would get, but I'm sure that the Department of Justice is looking at that. They're looking at to see if there's also civil rights violations. What Turning Point USA, those individuals, were they civil rights violated under the circumstances here? So that's going to be part and parcel of their investigation.
Before I let you go, I want to ask you about John Beam, the legendary coach from Netflix's Last Chance U. I absolutely loved that series. I thought it was terrific. I appreciated very much what he did for the community. Like 20 guys making it to the bigs, to the pros, to play football. Killed senselessly over in Oakland. What can you tell us about that?
You know, killed senselessly, as you've said. This was a man of the community. This was a man who gave back to the community. Yeah. This was a man that was there for the young people in that community. And you had one individual who allegedly came in and killed him, and the investigation in that matter is continuing. But God bless this man, because he gave so much to that community.
Do you think in a circumstance like this, and I understand that the individual apparently knew him, but we don't know what was behind the knowledge of each other. How much might that weigh in how you look at this case?
Well, from what I've been told, that the individual allegedly knew him also, Kevin. And you've got to look at all of the circumstances here. And I think at this stage you're going to charge him with second-degree murder, but that could always be elevated according to what they come up with.
Does capacity matter in a case like this?
Absolutely, it does. And also, what matters is what was the actual intent? Was this a premeditated murder? Was this planned? Was malice as a forethought there? All of those things are part and parcel of this investigation.
Always great to see you, my friend, the great Ted Williams. Thanks for coming in this weekend. Appreciate you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.